Twitchland. It's Doc, aka GamerSeuss, and we're going to start the stream off right off the bat with a sound check because I want to make sure sound is going to the video. So let's go on here. Check 1 2, check 1 2 on here. Check 1 2, check 1 2 on here. Great, sound is great this time. Okay, today we're going to be doing a 10 tips and tricks, 10 other tips and tricks for new players in 7 Days to Die. Now, there's been a lot of 10 tips videos out there, and they're great tips. And I didn't want to rehash all of those tips, but I wanted to bring in some new tips. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's get started on the 7 Days to Die screen. Okay, and as always, all my videos are dedicated to Extra Life, part of the Children's Miracle Network. So make sure that you like, subscribe, everything, hit the notifications and such so that we can help those kids. Let's see here. Okay, let me get to the actual start screen. All right, in the game. And this is just a for fun one that I started. It's now it is set to what you call it, permadeath. So that's something. But anyway, let's get to the first tip. Let's see. First tip I have for you is always loot every toilet in the game. Now, you want to loot everything pretty much in the beginning, but especially toilets. And that's because there's two primary things that are on the loot table for toilets that, well, in fact, probably three. They're in the loot tables for toilets that are rather important. Um, you can generally find water or water jugs is one, but you can also find knives and pistols generally in the toilet. And a lot of times you'll find a knife or a pistol. It's a little bit above what your actual loot stage is. So like if you're still on pipe pistols, you might find an actual pistol, not a pipe pistol, so an actual geared weapon in the next tier. Um, the example is this one I found here, I believe is, uh, no, that's still a pipe pistol. Okay, I thought I had found a regular one in this one, but yeah, you can find pistols. And you can find pipe pistol too, but you'll find a higher number generally than what you are making if you do uh, that. So always loot the toilets. Toilets are very important to be looted. Next tip, and I'll just bring that up here. Let's see, tip number 2 is make a bow knife as soon as possible. Let's see, can you see those? Let me do something to make sure you can see those tips a little bit better. Make a bow knife as soon as possible. And the reason I say this is the bow knife is one of the best early game weapons. Even if you're not going to specialize in knives, it's a good idea to hit them first with a knife because knives cause bleed, and so they'll slowly deteriorate as you hit them with other weapons. So start off as an opening hit or an opening close in hit with the knife. You might start actually with a bow or something at a distance, but the knife really helps, and it is the only weapon that starts out with bleed. So start with a bone knife as soon as possible. You just need 5 bones to make the bone knife. So as soon as you get 5 bones, so Once you are traveling around the game, look for carcasses. Let me get back in the game screen here. You look for carcasses, and I'll show you what those look like. If you're a new player, you might need help with that. They'll generally be found around the road. Now I've kind of done most of the carcasses here, but we'll run across the road a little bit. Usually it's not too far before you find a carcass. Uh, what is that? Okay. Uh, kind of a bonus tip, always go for the head. That does actually do more damage, and you do have a chance for an instant kill with the head, especially if they're on with certain magazines. Try to hit them a couple of times when they're down too. Usually the second time they fall, they're dead. They're dead. Anyway, back to finding carcasses. Unfortunately, the zombies you kill, their carcasses generally don't count towards bones. Is that a carcass? Oh no. Ah, it'd be nice if we could find a carcass real quick, huh? Oh, another zombie. And if you back up as you hit, you generally won't get hit. In fact, I like to do is go forward and back. There we go. Again, bonus tip. A lot of zombies, but then it is 2 in the morning. They are more active at night. I have my brightness settings a little higher so you can see a little bit. You might want to just run away with this guy from this guy because that guy's a lumberjack and he's a little bit tougher to beat. He's actually tougher to beat than the fat boy zombie. I'm skipping over vehicles. You should also loot every vehicle you come across. That's another bonus tip. But oh, there's a snake, and you should always get the snakes for meat and leather. And the bone knife is good for that too, because you a knife gives you more actual return when you loot animals than the bone axe or any other salvage tool. Let's see. Geez, we're going quite a ways without finding a. They're usually more. I may have gotten all the dead bodies in this area, but I didn't think I'd gone this far. Okay, there's one. And that's going to give you some bones. And that's usually the best way to start to get a bone knife. So what are we on? Tips. Okay. Now, tip 3, you can shoot through the gates. Okay. This is an especially powerful tool, especially near the traders. Um, let's go ahead and we're cold because it's nighttime. There's that lumberjack, so be ready to run. But you kind of want to get him to follow you for this next one. Okay, actually, want to wait till 4 o'clock when the gates open too. Did I lose it? Trader should be opening in about 10, 15 in-game minutes. Oh, I did tell him you lost the zombie. There he is. Here he comes.
Trader Rick is now open. We got food and wares. We got money.
Now watch the gate. See, he's going to come to the gate. And this only works with ranged weapons. So bows and guns. There he is. Might be harder to aim, but you can shoot through the gates. Let's see, that's about his head. He will move around a bit, so you gotta. It does help if you crouch too. Missed. A good thing about arrows is once they die, you generally go to the body and retrieve some of your arrows so you don't waste every shot. That's a bonus tip too. But yeah, you could shoot through the gates, through any chain link fence without hurting the chain link fence. So while the zombies are beating on it to try to destroy it, you can shoot through it, and that includes the invulnerable traders gate. So if you get like a small horde following you, and you can manage to get through into the traders, you could pick them all off with your bow as long as you have ammunition. So that's always a good tip. Let's see, next tip on the agenda. I didn't mean to do that one. Let's do that. Pre-dig buried supplies. Okay, if you get the buried supply quest in the game, you're going to want to pre-dig it. And what that means is go down 3 blocks without activating the quest and dig out 3 blocks in all directions in a circle. And then make sure you have a way out of your dug in place. Then activate your quest. And if you do that, the quest will be right there. The box should be right there or no more than one more layer down. And you won't have summoned the zombies for each partial step of the dig process because they don't trigger a spawn until the circle shrinks. Every time the circle shrinks, it has a chance to spawn a zombie to come in and mess with you. Now, the other thing you want to be careful about is you have a way out so that if a zombie comes randomly through, you can jump out and protect yourself because you don't want to be stuck in the hole with the zombie. But if you dig down 3 and then go 3 all the way around, you generally will find your buried treasure. Takes a little bit extra time, but there's a lot less zombie menace. Then let's see. Next is let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Let's see. Put that one back up. All right. Next is um, plant trees after chopping them. Okay, after chopping trees, you're going to get it 1 or 2 tree seeds. And what you do is you drag them onto your bar, and then you can plant them. So you can replant them wherever that tree was, which helps, make sure that you have wood available later on. So you don't have to go as far out to keep it further and further and further out to gather wood. And then what it also means is that you can plant yourself a plant or a tree orchard in an area Generally, I would go a little bit off screen from your like base because you don't want to have latency issues from zoning in with all of those trees needing to render. But if you go just a little bit past where your base is, and you um, plant a group of trees together, it'll be much easier to go gather wood as you go along. So plant your trees. Replant all the trees. Let's see. Next, I think that's the next one. Yep, 6. I'm going to shrink this screen again to make get a wrench ASAP. One of the most powerful tools in the game is the wrench, and you want to try to get one as soon as possible. And why that is that it allows you to loot from uh, cars, sinks, and everything completely, as in you can take them apart, and that's some of the most valuable loot you can get in the game. Anytime you can wrench something, you're going to get more loot. And that's where you're going to pick up things like radiators, springs, pipes, batteries, engines, things you'll need later game for some of the later game materials and builds. So get yourself a wrench as soon as you can. And generally, they're found in toolboxes, workbenches, and utility trucks are going to be some of your main places to find wrenches. Let's see if I can find something I can wrench to, because the wrench becomes real useful. Like for instance, something's coming up on me. I can hear it. Oh, there he is. Am I still in? I was still in crouch mode. There we go. There's some we can wrench. It's going to require nerd pulling. And we nerd pull for a lot of things. I'm going to set this to a different shape by hitting the R button. That's a bonus tip for you too. You don't know how to do that. Ah, I picked it up. Ah, I'm just doing it wrong all the way through today because I'm doing a video. If I wasn't doing a video, I would do it all right. That's, Jesus. Shoot, at this rate, I should do it this way. Takes more building blocks this way, though. Always keep plenty of wood. That's okay. As we go. You can wrench these transformers And one of the good things about wrenching transformers, as you can see, is you can get from transformers and streetlights steel. It's best early game way to pick up steel. Let's see what's that. You always should be reading that. Okay. So I got steel from that, I got some iron from that, and I got some raw iron from that, and those are valuable materials. So get yourself a wrench, and if you get enough scrapping for fun magazines, you can make a wrench. Pick up your boxes too if you're not using them. One, you have the boxes to use again, and two, they don't clutter up the area. So yeah, always get yourself a wrench. And let's see, let's go up to the next one. Should be this one. 7. And let's do it this way this time. Grab those airdrops. Very important. You get airdrops. Generally speaking, most games are set to airdrops every 3 days. And you want to grab the airdrops because the airdrops usually have a lot of nice materials at the very beginning. You're going to generally have a either a book box or a crafting skills magazine bundle. So you'll either get 2 of the book collections or uh, 2 each of like 3 different magazines, and those are going to be really helpful. So grab those airdrops. They also often have hammers, some food, and usually it's a higher end food, and maybe a slightly higher tier weapon on them. So get those airdrops. And then here we go. Okay, you want to scrap radiators, springs, headlights, and batteries. Generally, batteries of level 3 or lower, at least right away. Because if you, especially if you got yourself a wrench and you're going around doing a lot of wrenching, you're going to fill up your inventory really fast. But also because the materials that you get from scrapping are going to be worth more to the trader than the items themselves. The radiator sells for so much, and it only stacks to 5, but brass stacks to a higher thing. I think it stacks to like 1,000. I haven't stacked it tall in a while, but you can also you can right click to power hit with the wrench. It does, even though it's different animation, it still does the taking apart. It just does it faster, but it uses a lot of stamina. And then while my stamina is building, I take things like radiators and scrap them because one radiator gives you 187 of the brass, and a spring gives you 7 iron. And generally speaking, you're not going to need a lot of springs until later game. And you can get once you have a wrench, you can get plenty of springs. Now, pipes you may or may not want to do because pipes are used in early crafting, and they're used to repair pipe weapons. So you generally want to keep a few pipes on you. But when you're scrounging for space in your inventory, you might do the pipes as well, just because you're going to get iron from them, and iron stacks with iron, but the pipe stacks separately, and it's a good way to open up a slot. Plus, getting your wrench early does another thing for you, in that there's a couple of challenges. In the challenge area that you may unlock. Let's see, I got that one from harvesting pipes. So got that from getting that snake. But there's later on, I already got them, but you can get them for harvesting electrical and mechanical, harvesting steel. You have to harvest quite a bit of steel. You have to harvest 10, but like we've already got 4, and we're not at the high enough level to be making it and don't have a crucible. So by going out and getting those transformers or the street lights, like up here, you can get the steel. See that street light up there? I could nerd pull up to it. I'm not going to do it right now, but I could nerd pull up to it and we could get some steel. Okay, next is make it easier to see here. Upgrade your tools whenever you get the chance and ability. As you get the magazines, you're going to get the, the ability to make better and better tools. And it is if you've got the ability to make the tool, which uh, generally is all of the primitives at least. So the pipe, various pipe rifles and pistols, the bone knives, and the primitive axe and shovel and such. They can be made in your inventory. Things like duct tape. And as a bonus tip, as you get glue, you can generally you'll have some rags on you. You can turn the glue and rags into duct tape to take up less space in your inventory. If depending, I mean, you uh, when you first do it, the duct tape will just take up the space of the glue. But if you already had glue in your inventory, then you'll take up less space because it will stack. So it's one way to stack things. Plus, you're generally going to need duct tape more than you're going to need glue. So uh, there's that. See, I've got a spring, and I could scrap the spring. Uh, this time, the springs I gave me 15. I can scrap the headlamp. Gave me 7. I think there was 2 springs at that time. Okay, but upgrade your tools, and you can check to see how well you can upgrade your tools by going over here and hitting the hammer and looking like your harvest tools. You can go up to level 2 tools. So if you don't have level 2 tools, if you're level 1, and I've got level 3 and level 2 repair tools, I can't even unlock yet. Salvage tools, here's where you make the wrench, and your weapons, your knuckles, your blades. Yeah, I can only make a tier 1 knife right now. Can I make anything higher? Oh yeah, spears. Yeah, I can make up to tier 2 spear. So if I was using a spear as a weapon, which I think I got one somewhere. Is that? I think that's a spear. Hold on. Is that a spear? Yeah, I've got a spear. So I should actually make a spear. Where's a spear? Okay, that's tools. See that? Is that weapons? I never use these category things. I just do it this way. Type in spear, make a stone spear. And since I can make a level 2, I can take my level 1 spear, scrap it first, and then make the level 2 spear. Oh, I don't have enough stuff for it. I need 3 plant fibers. Give me a second. And you can always, what they call, mow the lawn for plant fibers whenever you generally should be around some plant fibers. Only takes 3. So now I can make the spear. And because my last spear was there, the new spear will appear right there already equipped and ready to go. And then I can toss out the plant fibers because they just take up room now. They're not really a big deal. And is there anything else I can make a lot of? I could make a pipe machine gun if I wanted to. Tier 2. So go here, it shows I need, okay, 6 short iron pipes. I need 4 more. Oh, I need actual glue for this one. I never make the pipe machine gun. I usually get one for free. And I've got the wood. So I could make a pipe machine gun, but if it's a weapon you use, generally speaking, you want to be upgrading it as much as possible. Now, this spear is a good weapon because you get some distance. Let's go on to the next tip. Okay, scroll up. And the final tip in the game is going to be play with friends. And the reason being, and this can be played as a solo game. I'm not saying it can't, but there are all these different trees of specialization that you have to go through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you and 4 friends are playing, each one of you can specialize in one of these trees, and that makes it to where you guys can support each other and don't have to do everything all yourselves. For instance, you could have a person in uh, building weapons as their specialty, making like the pipe machine guns, and you can funnel all of the magazines of that type to that friend, and don't just read them all yourself. And then he can make all the pipe machine guns for everybody. And because of the fact that it's just the one person getting all the pipe machine magazines, he's going to be higher level quicker with pipe magazines because he's got friends giving it to him. And the same thing comes true for the workbench, the forge, the making of the weapons, because you can have the workbenches and stuff in like a centralized party area, and everybody can use them. So you don't necessarily have to have a workbench and forge and whatnot everybody's plot initially. And even if you want that, one person can have the ability to make them, and you can give them permission on your plot to set down those workbenches for you. Just get the materials to make it, then he can make the workbench, and or he can make it and give it to you, and you could put it down and get any achievements for it. But play with friends. This is a communal game. It can be perfectly good played solo. I'm not saying it can't, but I've also played it on a lot of community servers, and playing with friends really enhances your ability to get to the later stages of the game quicker, and then you can more specialize your build towards one thing yourself. So if you want to be the person that provides most of the food for everybody, others might dabble in it, but if they were funneling all the home cooking magazines to you first, you're going to get up there and be making chili dogs and steak and potato meals a lot faster. And then somebody else is going to specialize in farming, and they're going to provide you with all the vegetables you need to make all your cooking stuff. And then it's also going to provide the aloe to the medicine guy to make bandages and first aid kits and such. So play with friends. It's most neglected helpful hint that I think I see all the time is people forget to play this game and get allies and stuff. Whether you're on a regular server, a PvP server, a modded server, whatever, friends are an invaluable resource. And you're an invaluable resource to them because, like I said, many hands makes the work light. And so that's what you want to do. These have been 10 other tricks and tips for newbies getting started. And some of them may have been like patently obvious, but like the gate trick at the traders is the big one for me because it's a great way. You get a bunch of uh, zombies are after you, and if you can manage to get into the traders, you can wait them out, sure, or you can shoot them through the gate and thin them out. Now, doesn't work with all traders because some traders have like solid wood gates, not chain link gates. But wherever you have a chain link gate, it works. Also, you got to worry about, biome troubles. If you're in the biome progressions, like for instance, Jen has a chain link gate, but if you aren't wearing the biome gear, you can't be out in it too long. So always take that into account. Anyway, this has been 10 tips and tricks for playing 7 Days to Die for newbies. And hopefully I handled some tips and tricks that aren't the same old tips and tricks that you've seen. And you could take those and maybe get a little further in the game. And look at the other 10 tips and tricks, especially I recommend going to Spartan 85 and Jawoodle. I've I've watched both of their 10 tips and tricks, and they're the more standard everyday 10 tips and tricks that you're going to get. But I definitely recommend their streams as well. We're going to end this one now. Again, I'm with Extra Life, part of the Children's Miracle Network. So anything that I make streaming, at least 50% goes to Extra Life. Hold on a second. I got to ban a bot here. Okay. And everything is the okay. And what we're going to do is let's go ahead and send a raid. Haven't done a raid in a while. And let's see. We're going to go. Who's going right now? Anybody? We're just going for somebody playing this game in English, Dutch, Francais, English. Here we go. Start raid. Okay, he's got his raid disabled. We're just going to end the stream. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. This has been Gamer Seuss on the Gamer Seuss Network, also known as Doc. Come find me in the game. In the game, I'm usually Daryl. I play regular 7 days, some modded. I usually play on Spartan 85's community servers or his PvP server I'm currently playing on. His Legion server as well. I also have my own server. If you get with me and you want to get into my server, I will possibly, if I trust you, give you the IP and the password to come in. I just recently restarted it, so if you're interested, I want to turn it into a community server. It has up to 14 slots. It's vanilla with a few setting changes, higher loot potential, higher experience, um, daily airdrop because it's set for so many people. But blood moon every 10 days. So check it out, and we'll catch you next time. This has been Gamer Suze for the Children's Miracle Network and Extra Life. Have a wonderful time, and in the immortal words of Stanley, Excelsior. Bye bye.